What happens when a billionaire's daughter runs away from her high society life and hides as a clumsy waitress in a small Lagos diner? Watch this hilarious, heartwarming Nigerian twist on Billionaire's Daughter Pretends to be a Waitress, filled with love, pepper, plantains, and plenty of Lagos drama. Bella, desperate to escape her father's control, finds freedom in the most unexpected place, a noisy street diner run by the fierce Mama Tolu. But when her secret identity starts to crack and her father's men close in, can she protect the people she loves? And what happens when the chef she's falling for, Andy, finds out who she really is?
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notification so you don't miss our next story. All right, let's get to it.
The halls of the Cross Mansion in Ikoyi glittered with wealth. Chandeliers that cost more than most people's houses, imported Italian tiles, and walls that echoed nothing but silence and power. Yet, Isabella Cross, the only daughter of Chief Cross, felt like a bird trapped in a golden cage. Isabella, this is not up for debate. You will marry Colonel Adegbite. It's a brilliant business move, her father barked, adjusting his agbada as if it settled the matter. She frowned, arms crossed. So, I'm a pawn now? Daddy, I don't even like Colonel. He talks like an expired motivational speaker. Chief Cross slammed his cane on the marble floor. Do you know how many women would kill to be in your shoes? Isabella snorted. Please, they can have the shoes. That was it. She'd had enough. That night, while the security guards watched football and argued over who the GOAT was between Messi and Ronaldo, Isabella stuffed a small backpack with plain clothes, tied her braids into a messy bun, slipped on sandals, and sneaked out of the mansion like a professional. She didn't know exactly where she was going, but she knew it had to be far from the wealth and expectations her last name carried. After a bumpy Danfo ride and getting overcharged by an Okada man who swore the road was under construction, even though it was perfectly fine, Isabella landed in one of the busiest streets of Yaba. And there it was, a small, rickety building with a fading sign, Mama Tolu's Diner. It wasn't fancy, but it was perfect. A bell chimed as she stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of sizzling plantain and fried eggs. Mama Tolu herself, a plump woman with a colorful scarf and a voice that could wake the dead, glanced up. Yes? Who be you? Mama Tolu asked, eyeing her suspiciously. Isabella. I'm looking for work. Mama Tolu laughed so hard she nearly dropped her frying spoon. Work? You sure your papa no go find you here? Isabella forced a grin. No papa. Just me. Mama Tolu gave her a long stare, then shrugged. Oi, grab apron. Let's see if you can serve tables without falling like pure water. And just like that, the billionaire's daughter's new life began. Little did she know trouble, and possibly love, was waiting for her in the next booth. Bella, yes, she had fully adopted her undercover name now, quickly learned that being a waitress was nothing like the luxury brunches she was used to. On her first day, the universe made sure to humble her. The tray was heavier than it looked. Balancing hot plates, dodging hungry customers, and understanding the coded Yoruba slangs being fired at her from all directions was a full workout. Waitress, bring me extra pepper, one customer barked. Waitress, where's my cold Fanta? It's turning to room temperature. Another snapped. Bella spun in circles, trying to please everyone. Her arms ached. Sweat glued her braids to her forehead. She accidentally served jollof rice to the man who ordered umla and, in panic, poured water on a table where no one even asked for drinks. From behind the counter, Mama Tolu shook her head in disbelief. Bella, this one you're doing is not waitressing. Oh. You're just moving up and down like you're chasing breeze. Before Bella could reply, a young man with a low-cut, slightly curly hair, a clean-trimmed beard, and wearing a well-worn but neat shirt strolled in. He was tall, with that Lagos sharp guy confidence. His name? Andy Johnson. Andy was Mama Tolu's most reliable staff. He could carry 3 trays with one hand, make customers laugh, and still find time to wipe tables. Everyone loved Andy. Andy didn't love the rich. New girl ABI? Andy smirked, watching Bella struggle to hold a tray properly. You know this is not Instagram life? Here, Plate day fall, nobody go help you snap picture. Bella rolled her eyes. Thanks for the warm welcome. Mama Tolu cackled. Andy, teach her well before she burns down my shop. Andy's smirk widened. No wahala, Mama T. But Bella wasn't ready for Andy's brutal training. Carry this tray, balance him like this, now go serve table 5, Andy instructed. Bella barely made it 3 steps before the tray tilted and a bottle of Fanta tumbled to the ground with a dramatic crash. The entire diner paused. Customers turned. Mama Tolu placed her hands on her head. Andy crossed his arms. You know day see road? Ah, Bella, you day learn work today oh, Andy teased, laughing. Bella's cheeks burned. Maybe the bottle was suicidal. The customers erupted in laughter. Even Andy, who loved teasing her, was caught off guard by her quick humor. Okay, you get mouth. I like that, Andy admitted, still grinning. But next time, let the bottle live. As the day went on, Bella stumbled, spilled, and fumbled her way through, but something strange happened. She began to enjoy it. The noise, the banter, the small wins like delivering 2 plates without dropping them. It felt real. It felt alive. Andy, still unaware of her true identity, became her reluctant mentor. He called her Ajibutter Waitress every chance he got, and Bella called him Lagos Oversabi. And in between all the clumsiness, laughter, and sarcastic nicknames, something started to brew, something Bella wasn't ready to admit. By Bella's 3rd day, she had broken exactly 4 plates, 2 glass cups, and nearly set the fryer on fire because she thought she could multitask like Andy. Mama Tolu had threatened to sack her at least twice but somehow couldn't bring herself to do it. Maybe it was Bella's charm. Maybe it was the way she kept apologizing with such dramatic puppy eyes that even the grumpiest customers forgave her. Or maybe, just maybe, Mama Tolu had already fallen in love with the troublemaker. Ah, Bella, did I not tell you to carry the plate with 2 hands? Why are you balancing it like you're in a Miss World competition? Mama Tolu yelled as another broken plate hit the floor. I'm sorry, Mama. I thought I had it this time. Bella pleaded, already grabbing a broom. Andy passed by, expertly balancing a tray of hot EBA and egusi soup with 1 hand. You thought you had it? Bella, you're a full-blown hazard. Bella stuck her tongue out. At least I'm improving. Yesterday, I dropped 5 plates. Today, only 1. Andy laughed. Oh, so we're counting progress now? Okay, oh. Despite the teasing, Andy was starting to notice something. Bella wasn't just some random clumsy girl. There was something about the way she spoke, the way her English was a little too clean, the way she flinched every time she had to handle money like it was foreign to her. Where exactly did you grow up, Bella? Andy asked during their short break as they both sat on the diner's small bench outside. Bella sipped her sachet water, carefully tearing it with her teeth like she'd seen the others do. I grew up around. Which area? She paused, eyes dancing. Somewhere not far from here. Which street? Andy pressed, his eyebrow raised in playful suspicion. Bella grinned. Ah, Lagos is big O. I can't remember all the streets. Andy narrowed his eyes. You day hide something. Me? No, I'm just your average, innocent Bella. Andy chuckled but didn't push further. No problem. But one day I'll catch you. You can try, Lagos Oversabi. The nickname stuck. What Bella didn't know was that Mama Tolu had been watching both of them with eagle eyes. Mama Tolu muttered to herself as she wiped the counter. This my clumsy Bella and that Andy boy, they are doing like Tom and Jerry, but I can see something is cooking. Later that afternoon, Mama Tolu called Bella aside. Bella, you're still my worst waitress. You know that, right? Bella gasped, pretending to be hurt. Ah, Mama, my own boss doesn't even rate me? But I like you. You make people laugh. You make me laugh. Don't break my remaining plates. Bella's heart warmed. She hadn't expected to find this acceptance. And even though Andy's sarcasm was getting on her nerves, his smile was becoming dangerously charming. She had no idea how much trouble she was inviting into her own life. By now, Bella had accepted that she wasn't just the worst waitress in Lagos. She was probably the worst waitress in the whole of Nigeria. But quitting? That wasn't in her plan. Besides, teasing Andy had become her new favorite hobby. The next morning, she strutted into Mama Tolu's diner with fresh confidence, her long braids tied into a neater bun this time. "Good morning, Lagos Oversabi," she chirped, flashing Andy a mischievous smile. Andy, already mopping the floor, raised his brow. "Ah, Ajibutter waitress, you're here early. Did you dream of breaking more plates today?" Bella grabbed a mop and mimicked him. "You know, I was wondering how you managed to mop so fast." "Oh wait, it's because you've been doing it since the age of 2, right?" Andy laughed. "You day craze. This mouth of yours, you better be careful. Small play, I go lock you inside the store with that rat way day live there. Please, I know your rat is your only friend. I wouldn't want to disturb your bromance." The other staff overheard their back and forth and burst into laughter. Even Mama Tolu shook her head in disbelief as she sprinkled salt on some boiling stew. "I swear, you two can talk from morning till night. Are you here to work or host a comedy show?" Mama Tolu scolded. Andy winked. "We're multitasking, Mama." Bella whispered, "Careful, oh Andy. Multitasking can make you drop plates." Andy gasped dramatically, clutching his chest. This girl has finally grown wings. Their banter didn't stop even while serving customers. One elderly man raised his hand. "Waitress, bring me 2 wraps of fufu." Bella shouted from across the diner. "Andy, please, oh, what does fufu look like again?" Andy dropped his tray in shock. "You what? You've been serving food here for how many weeks and you don't know fufu? My God." The whole diner exploded in laughter. "Andy, is it round? Is it flat? Help me nah." Andy shook his head. "Bella, I pity your future husband. You better marry someone that likes bread and tea." Bella grinned as she went to serve the correct order, but her heart was full. For the first time in her life, she wasn't being treated like a princess. She was being teased, pushed, and laughed at. And she loved it. At the end of the day, as they wiped down tables together, Andy paused and asked, "Bella, seriously, you're not like most people I've met. Why'd you really come here? This job, this life, it doesn't look like you." Bella looked at him, then quickly changed the subject. You're falling for me, ABI?" Andy chuckled. "Me? Fall for you? I'm not that clumsy." But even as he said it, something tugged at him. Something he couldn't explain. Bella smiled, but deep down she knew her little game was getting risky. And something told her she wasn't going to win it so easily. Bella was starting to settle into her new life, almost. She was finally learning how to carry trays without dropping them, how to remember orders, and even how to sweet-talk grumpy customers into leaving bigger tips. But there was one thing she still hadn't mastered: blending in. No matter how much she tried, her Ajibutter side kept exposing her. It started when she brought her lunch from home. She unwrapped a shiny container and out came sushi. Sushi. In Lagos. Andy blinked in shock. "What in the name of Yudu is this?" Bella quickly shoved the container back in her bag. Nothing. Just as advanced Accra." Andy laughed so hard he nearly fell off the bench. "Advanced Accra? You day craze. Since when did Accra come with raw fish and chopsticks?" The other staff gathered around, staring at her like she had just brought in alien food. One whispered, "It's for Juju?" Another muttered, "I no day chop that 1-0. Bella panicked. "It's a special diet. I'm just trying to stay healthy." Andy shook his head. "Ajibutter things. You should have just brought rice like the rest of us." The second slip happened when a customer paid with cash, and Bella handed him the wrong amount of change. Andy noticed immediately. "Bella, you gave him N500 extra." "Oops. Sorry, I thought the green one was the N200 note." Andy stared at her like she'd committed a national crime. "You don't know the difference between N200 and N500? Bella's eyes darted around. My eyes were blurry. "Blurku? Bella, now you go invent new currency soon." The customers laughed. Bella playfully threw a napkin at Andy, who ducked and kept laughing. Mama Tolu joined in. "This girl, You sure say you never finish all your scents for that advanced akara? But Bella's biggest expose came later that day. One of Andy's friends, Kunnel, not to be confused with her father's arranged marriage candidate, came by the diner with his beat-up car. "Bella, come see something," Andy called, grinning. He waved her over and proudly introduced Kunnel's car, which was held together by prayers, masking tape, and hope. "Andy, this is a car or a mobile miracle?" Bella asked, squinting. Kunnel laughed. "Ah, it's small but mighty." Bella tried to enter the car but paused. "Wait, where's the seatbelt? And why does it smell like burnt engine oil and onions?" Andy smirked. "You do like say you've never been inside a Danfo before." Bella smiled nervously. "Ah, Danfo? Of course I have. Many times." Andy squinted. "What's the name of the bus conductor's most popular saying?" Bella froze. "God bless you?" Andy exploded with laughter. "God bless you? The conductors you know must be doing charity work. Oh. You've never entered Danfo in your life." Bella groaned, burying her face in her hands as Andy and Kunnel laughed like they'd won a jackpot. Even Mama Tolu, who overheard from inside, yelled, "Bella, you don't even know enter with your change?" "Ah, it's over for you." Bella tried to recover. "Fine. You caught me. I grew up on private buses." Andy leaned on the car, still smiling. "One day, you'll tell me the real story." Bella smiled back but quickly changed the subject again. She wasn't ready to tell him anything. Not yet. But it was getting harder to keep her secrets from the boy who was slowly becoming her best friend. One morning, Andy burst into the diner waving a flyer like he'd just discovered gold. "Mama Tolu. Bella. Everybody. Come and see," he shouted, slapping the flyer on the counter like it was his winning lottery ticket. Mama Tolu squinted at the paper. "Food competition? Lego Street Food Festival? Winner gets N1 million and a kitchen upgrade." Andy's eyes sparkled. "Mama, if we win, you can finally buy that big gas cooker you've been praying for. And maybe even change this your leaky roof." Bella picked up the flyer and read it carefully. "A cooking competition? You should enter, Andy. You're the best cook here." Andy beamed. "Thank you, Ajabutter Waitress. Finally, you recognize greatness." Bella smirked. "Calm down. I didn't say you were perfect. Just the best around this street." Mama Tolu's face lit up. "But the registration fee is N30,000. We don't have that kind of spare money now." Andy's shoulders fell. That's true. Money no day." Bella's mind raced. She wanted to help. She knew she could call her family driver right now and have N30,000 in minutes, but that would expose her. She couldn't risk that. So, she found another way. Later that evening, she told Mama Tolu she wanted to pick up extra shifts to help pay for the registration fee. She started arriving earlier, sweeping the compound, washing dishes, even going to the market to help carry heavy baskets of vegetables. She tripped over a basket of tomatoes as usual, but kept going. Mama Tolu watched her in shock. "Bella, are you sure you didn't hit your head on something? This your sudden zeal is giving me suspicion." Bella grinned. "I just want to help. You people have been good to me." Andy teased. "Wow. From breaking plates to becoming Mother Teresa. What a transformation." Bella winked. "Keep talking. Maybe I'll forget to bring your change next time." Together, they scraped up the registration fee over the next few days, hustling hard. Bella even convinced a few customers to leave generous tips by sweet-talking them and cracking hilarious jokes. When they finally paid the fee, Andy hugged Mama Tolu. "Thank you, Mama. I won't disappoint you." He turned to Bella. "And thank you, Ajabutter Waitress. You're officially the best assistant in Lagos." Bella smiled, her heart racing. She'd secretly contributed the final N10,000 from her emergency stash, but no one had to know. As the competition approached, the entire diner buzzed with excitement. Andy practiced his recipes, Bella accidentally added too much salt during practice, and Mama Tolu kept yelling, "You want to kill the judges with high blood pressure?" But it was all fun, laughter, and lots of food disasters. Andy even taught Bella how to flip plantains without burning them. Bella, of course, still managed to drop one on the floor. Oops, gravity is after me again, she shrugged. One day, we'll arrest you for wasting Plantain, Andy joked. The tension was rising, but so was the bond between them. Bella knew the competition could change Andy's life, and she was willing to do anything to make sure he got that chance, even if it meant keeping her biggest secret buried for a little while longer. The Lego Street Food Festival was just 1 week away, and the diner was in full training mode. Andy practiced his signature jollof rice, fried plantain, and peppered chicken combo every day like his life depended on it. Mama Tolu supervised with military precision, correcting his seasoning, and occasionally smacking his hand with a wooden spoon when he got cocky. Bella? She was the self-appointed hype woman. Andy, the rice commander, the pepper prince, the plantain king, she would chant, making the whole diner laugh. Andy grinned. Thank you, Bella. At least you found your true calling as my personal praise singer. Bella laughed but secretly worried. Andy's chances were good, but the competition was fierce. Some of the other contestants came from big restaurants with fancy equipment. Andy was working with a tired old stove that made funny noises every time it lit up. Bella couldn't stand by and watch him lose because of broken tools. So she made a silent decision. She would help, without him knowing. That night, she used a secret phone line. Not her personal phone. Not her mansion number. The one she bought specifically to make anonymous calls without being tracked. She called one of her father's old managers who didn't know she was missing. Good evening, sir. Please, I need to place an order for a small kitchen equipment donation to Mama Tolu's diner in Yaba. Just a simple stove, a good frying pan set, and some utensils. Send it quietly. No fanfare. No names. The man agreed without suspecting anything. 2 days later, Mama Tolu screamed when shiny new kitchen tools arrived at her doorstep. Sent this. Andy, did you order this? Andy stared, wide-eyed. Me? Mama, if I had that kind of money, you think I'd still be eating my beans with groundnut? Bella pretended to be as shocked as everyone else. Wow. A mystery donor. Maybe Legos angels are real. Andy rubbed his chin. I don't trust this thing. Bella, your handwriting is on this. Bella's eyes widened. Me? Do I look like a kitchen angel to you? Andy smirked. With the way you always drop plates? I doubt it. Mama Tolu cut in. Whoever sent it, we thank them. God bless their hustle. Andy grumbled but let it go. Well, thanks to our secret angel, we now have a fighting chance. Bella smiled secretly, satisfied. But her guilt slowly crept in. Andy had always prided himself on hard work, on not accepting handouts. What would he think if he found out his big chance came from the same kind of rich girl he'd spent years resenting? She pushed the thought aside. For now, all that mattered was helping him win. But the walls were closing in. At the back of the diner, 2 strange men in dark glasses were spotted asking around. Excuse me, one asked a street hawker, have you seen this girl? He held out a photo of Bella, dressed in her finest gown, from a family gala. The hawker shook his head, but the search had begun. Bella's secret life was on the verge of exposure. And she didn't even know it. The competition buzz filled the diner like hot pepper in the air. Andy was practicing more, Bella was cheering louder, and Mama Tolu was polishing pots like they were gold. But amidst the excitement, something else began to stir. Jealousy. Sweet, spicy jealousy. A new waitress named Cynthia had joined the team to help with the growing customer traffic. She was sharp, beautiful, and dangerously good at waitressing. Unlike Bella, Cynthia didn't drop plates, ever. Bella didn't like it. Cynthia always fluttered around Andy, giggling at his jokes, accidentally brushing past him, and even offering to help him slice vegetables. Bella crossed her arms and pouted as she watched Cynthia in action. See this one, Bella muttered under her breath, walking up and down like she owns the diner. Andy noticed her sulking. Bella, why are you squeezing your face like overripe pawpaw? Bella forced a sweet smile. Me? No, I'm just observing your new best friend. Andy laughed. Cynthia? She's just helping out. Helping ABI? Maybe she can help you cut Plantain into the shape of love too. Andy smirked. Ah, jealousy is worrying you. Bella rolled her eyes. Jealous? Please, I'm just concerned about the safety of the plantains. Cynthia floated by, giving Bella a sweet but deadly smile. Bella, please can you hand me the tray? Be careful. You know how slippery your hands can be. Bella's fake smile widened. Thank you for your reminder, Cynthia. But don't worry, the tray knows it's safer with me than with wandering hands. The other staff chuckled quietly. Mama Tolu watched the drama unfold and whispered to herself, these children. Love is starting to pepper them. Later that day, while Andy practiced his peppered chicken dish, Bella offered to help him stir the sauce. Be careful, Bella. If you spoil this one, I'll remove your hype woman badge, Andy teased. Bella pretended to be offended. Please, my own pepper is the sweetest. I've been adding extra ingredients since morning. Andy tasted it, nodded, then smiled. Not bad, Ajibutter Waitress. You're finally becoming a Lagos babe. Bella raised her brow. I've always been a Lagos babe. Andy gave her a playful side-eye. Ihen? Then say, weigh your change, like a real bus conductor. Bella groaned. You'll not rest with this thing, ABI? Andy laughed. Nope. Suddenly, Cynthia slipped beside Andy. Oh, Andy, I brought you extra pepper. You like it hot, right? Bella's jaw nearly hit the floor. Cynthia was now serving coated lines. Bella grabbed a nearby pepper and waved it in the air. Andy likes his pepper balanced. Cynthia, don't go and burn his mouth. Andy chuckled, clearly enjoying the two-woman banter war. Mama Tolu walked past, shaking her head. If you people finish my pepper for love games, I will bill both of you. As the day ended, Andy caught Bella outside, sitting on the bench, lost in thought. You good? He asked. Bella sighed. I'm fine. Just thinking. Andy sat beside her. About the competition? She nodded. And other things. Like Cynthia? Bella's eyes widened. What? I'm not thinking about. Andy grinned. Relax. I know you're enjoying the banter. Besides, Cynthia is not my type. Bella looked at him, a bit surprised. Oh. Andy leaned closer. I like girls who know how to drop plates with style. Bella laughed, heart racing. In that case, I'm your queen. But behind the laughter, the two strange men continued to ask around the neighborhood. The photo of Bella was now circulating faster. The clock was ticking. Bella's secret life was about to collide with her new one. And she was running out of places to hide. The closer the competition got, the more the streets of Yaba seemed to tighten around Bella. The men searching for her, private investigators hired by her father, had combed through hotels, markets, and even churches. But now, their search was narrowing. They had finally reached the street where Mama Tolu's diner sat, buzzing with customers and laughter as usual. Inside the diner, life went on like nothing was wrong. Andy was busy perfecting his jollof rice while Bella fluttered around the tables, playfully tossing small jabs at him and dodging Cynthia's not-so-subtle attempts to help him more than necessary. Andy, be careful, Bella teased as he stirred the pot. Don't let your love potion turn to burnt offering. Andy laughed. Calling me out? This is rich. You're the one that can burn water. Cynthia appeared with a freshly cut plate of vegetables. Andy, here's the extra garnish you wanted. I can stay late to help you practice if you want. Bella nearly choked on her laughter. Cynthia, you're so kind. You've been staying late almost every day. The kitchen must be very attractive these days. Andy raised his hands in surrender. Bella, Cynthia, I'm begging both of you. Let me cook in peace. Mama Tolu chuckled from her corner. Andy, you have pepper in your food and pepper in your life. But outside the diner, things were getting serious. The two men had shown Bella's photo to a street photographer who suddenly froze when he saw the image. I've seen her, the man said, nodding quickly. She works at Mama Tolu's diner. She's there almost every day. The men exchanged a knowing glance. Thank you, one of them said, handing the photographer some cash. "Don't tell anyone we were here." The photographer happily pocketed the money and went back to snapping passport photos, unaware of the trouble he had just helped unleash. Back inside the diner, Andy's mind was occupied, not just with the competition, but with Bella. He'd caught himself watching her more often, laughing at her clumsy mistakes, and missing her on her day off. Something was growing between them, something he wasn't ready to admit out loud. That evening, as they walked to the bus stop together, Andy looked at Bella. "You know, you've really changed since you started here." Bella smiled. "Yeah. Am I finally blending in?" Andy shook his head. "No. That's what I like. You don't blend in. You stand out. And that's why you're dangerous." Bella's heart skipped. "Dangerous? I'm just a waitress, remember?" Andy chuckled. "Waitresses don't usually know how to pronounce sushi correctly." Bella laughed nervously. "Maybe I'm just special." Andy raised a brow. "Yeah, you are." The moment stretched, longer than usual, until a danfo blared its horn and snapped them back to reality. "See you tomorrow, Ajibutter waitress," Andy called as he crossed the road. Bella waved, her chest tight with 1,000 unspoken words. She didn't know that by the next morning, her carefully built lie would be hanging by a thread. The hunters were just one door away. The next morning at Mama Tolu's diner started like every other day, with the sweet aroma of frying akra, Andy's loud jokes, and Bella's usual tray-dropping performances. But what none of them knew was that danger had arrived. The two men, her father's private investigators, were now sitting quietly at a corner table, pretending to study the menu but keeping their sharp eyes fixed on every staff member, especially Bella. Mama Tolu, busy taking orders, didn't notice anything strange. Andy was too occupied perfecting his competition dish. Cynthia was too busy competing for Andy's attention. But Bella? Bella was too distracted by Andy's smile to sense that her carefully constructed world was about to shake. She walked over to their table with her usual cheerful voice. "Good morning, sirs. What can I get you?" One of the men lowered his sunglasses and locked eyes with her. His expression didn't change, but Bella's stomach twisted. There was something familiar about him. Something she couldn't place. "2 plates of jollof rice and chicken, please," the man said. Bella forced a polite nod and hurried away. She didn't realize it yet, but they had recognized her instantly. One of them whispered, "That's her." "No doubt." The other nodded. "Let's watch. Let's make sure before we call her father." Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Andy noticed Bella's nervous hands shaking as she arranged the cutlery. "Hey, you good?" he asked, touching her arm. Bella jumped, then quickly smiled. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired." Andy didn't fully believe her but let it go. "Okay, just don't go breaking any more plates. Mama Tolu is still recovering from the last disaster." Bella chuckled weakly. "Noted." As Bella served their order, one of the men deliberately dropped his fork. "Oh, sorry," Bella said, bending to pick it up. The man leaned in and whispered just loud enough for her to hear, "Your father is looking for you, Miss Isabella Cross." Froze. Her entire body went cold. She straightened slowly, her heartbeat racing. She forced a tight smile and whispered back, "I think you have the wrong person." The man's smile didn't reach his eyes. "You can run, but you can't hide forever." Bella's mind spun. She needed to leave. But if she made any sudden moves, she'd blow her cover and probably put Mama Tolu and Andy in danger. So she played it cool. She served the rest of their meal with shaky hands, disappeared into the back kitchen, and called an old contact using her secret phone. "Someone found me. I need help. Now." The man on the line promised to send a getaway plan. Meanwhile, Andy noticed her strange behavior. "Bella, what's going on? Why are you sweating like you just ran marathon?" Bella forced a laugh. "Nothing. Just heat." Andy wasn't buying it. "Bella, I know when you're lying." But before she could answer, the two men suddenly got up and walked out. Bella peeked through the window. They weren't leaving. They were waiting across the street, watching. Mama Tolu stepped out of the kitchen and sighed. "I don't know what those men wanted, but their eyes were too sharp." "You know them?" Bella shook her head too quickly. "No, Mama. Customers like that come and go. Mama Tolu wasn't convinced, but she didn't push. Andy looked at her carefully. You're hiding something. I can feel it. Bella's throat tightened. Andy, I can explain later. Please. Just trust me now. Andy wanted to push, but he stopped when he saw the panic in her eyes. Okay, he said softly. But if you're in trouble, I'm not letting you face it alone. Bella almost cried. But there was no time. The net was closing. That night, her contact texted, your ride is coming. Prepare to disappear. But could she really disappear from the people who had become her home? Bella barely slept that night. Her mind raced, torn between two impossible choices: run now and protect the people she cared about, or stay and risk dragging them into her storm. Her contact had sent clear instructions. A car will pick you up tomorrow night near the old railway station. From there, we can move you out of Lagos, no trace. Bella knew the smart move was to leave quietly. But her heart? Her heart was tangled in the small diner, in Mama Tolu's booming laughter, in Andy's teasing smirk, in the silly fights over burnt plantain. The next morning, she walked into the diner as if everything was normal. But Andy wasn't buying it. Bella, since yesterday, you've been moving like someone whose phone just swallowed their last airtime, he said, blocking her path with his arms. Bella forced a laugh. Me? I'm fine. Just tired. Andy crossed his arms. Please. Your eyes are red. You haven't slept. Something's going on, and I need to know. Bella's throat tightened. She wanted to tell him everything. Who she really was, why she ran, why she pretended to be someone else. But she couldn't. Not yet. So instead, she said, let's just get through the competition first. Andy frowned but let it go. But I'm not dropping this. I'll get the truth out of you, Ajibutter. Bella smiled sadly. You always do. The food competition was now just 2 days away. Andy's focus sharpened, but so did the men's search. They returned to the diner that afternoon, this time sitting closer to the entrance, watching Bella like hawks. She pretended not to notice, but Andy did. Those men, why are they back? Andy asked. Bella's heart raced. Maybe they just really love our jollof rice. Andy didn't laugh. Bella, I'm serious. Who are they? Before Bella could answer, Cynthia approached. Bella, 2 customers are asking for you outside. Bella excused herself and stepped out, only to find the 2 men waiting by a parked car. Your time is up, one said. Get in. Now. Bella's palms grew sweaty. I'm not going anywhere with you. The second man smirked. You don't have a choice. Your father is done playing games. Bella's pulse thudded. She glanced back at the diner. Andy was walking out, clearly coming to check on her. Panic surged. She couldn't let him get involved. So she did the only thing she could. She ran. She dashed into the side alley, knocking over buckets and crates, her long braids bouncing as she zigzagged through narrow passages. After her, one of the men shouted. Andy saw the chase, his heart leaping into his throat. Bella! Without thinking, he sprinted after them, weaving through the crowded street like his life depended on it. Bella, wait! Andy called, but she didn't stop. The entire neighborhood watched as the strange chase unfolded, Bella, the men, and Andy racing through the chaos of Lagos traffic, pushing past Danfo drivers and street hawkers. Bella cut through a crowded market and ducked behind a plantain stall. She grabbed her secret phone and texted her contact. Change of pickup. I'm exposed. I'll send a new location soon. She tossed the phone into a moving gutter to destroy the evidence. Andy finally caught up to her, panting. Bella, what is going on? Who are you really? Bella's eyes filled with tears. Andy, I wanted to tell you. I really did. He grabbed her shoulders gently. Tell me now. Please. Bella's lips trembled. I'm not who you think I am. My real name is Isabella Cross, and I'm the daughter of Charles Cross. Andy's eyes widened in disbelief. The billionaire? The man who owns half of Lagos? Bella nodded slowly. Yes. And I've been hiding from him, from the life he wanted to force on me. The weight of her secret finally dropped between them. Before Andy could process it, the men spotted them and started charging their way. Andy grabbed her hand. No time. Come on. They ran again, hearts pounding as the whole world seemed to spin faster around them. Bella's double life had officially exploded, and there was no turning back. Andy and Bella finally ducked into an abandoned building, panting, their backs pressed against the peeling walls as their pursuers raced past the entrance, unaware. Andy bent over, catching his breath. So, Billionaire's daughter, When you said you were special, you really meant it. Bella groaned, her hands on her knees. I wanted to tell you. I swear. But I was finally free here. Free from arranged marriages, fake friends, my father's security choking me. Free to just be me. Andy stared at her, his mind spinning. You're Isabella Cross. The woman that's been trending on missing person posters for weeks. Why would you run away from all that money? Bella looked at him, tears brimming. Because none of that was mine. My father wanted to trade me like property, marry me off to one of his business partners. I wanted a real life. I wanted this life. Andy's chest tightened. But you could have told me. You let me think you were just another clumsy Lagos girl. Bella laughed sadly. I am clumsy, Andy. That part was always real. Andy shook his head. So all those times you acted like you didn't know Lagos streets, you were faking it? Bella looked down. Not faking. I just never lived this life before. I was always behind tinted windows, security gates. I wanted to taste this life, even if I had to lie to do it. Andy ran his fingers through his hair, still processing. So all the things we shared, they were real? Bella looked at him, her voice barely a whisper. Every moment. Andy's jaw clenched. His mind wanted to be angry, but his heart wouldn't let him. Suddenly, Bella's backup contact called using a secured number. She answered quickly. New location, Falomo Bridge, midnight. Be ready to vanish. Bella sighed. Her time was up. Andy overheard. You're still leaving? Bella's eyes filled with regret. I have to. If they catch me, they'll drag me back to that life. I can't let that happen. I didn't think it would hurt this much to say goodbye to you. Andy stepped closer. Bella. She looked up, pleading. Don't try to stop me. Please. Andy nodded slowly. But I'm taking you there. I'm not letting you go alone. Bella's heart squeezed. Andy, you don't have to. I want to. They left their hideout, carefully navigating side streets until they made it to Mama Tolu's diner under the cover of dusk. Bella hugged Mama Tolu tightly. I have to go, Bella whispered. Mama Tolu looked at her knowingly. I don't know the full story, but your eyes have been screaming for days. But remember, you'll always have a home here. Bella wiped her tears. Thank you, Mama. Andy and Bella disappeared into the night, blending into the Lagos traffic. As they sat in the back of a Danfo heading towards Falomo, Andy asked, So, what's the first thing you'll do when you reach wherever you're going? Bella smiled softly. Probably miss the smell of burnt plantain. Andy laughed. Well, you'll always be the queen of dropped plates. And you'll always be the Lagos oversabi. The mood was bittersweet. They both knew this might be the last time they'd sit side by side like this. But neither of them said it. At Falomo Bridge, Bella's contact waited in an unmarked car. Andy held her hand tightly. You're not just some rich girl to me, Bella. You're family now. Bella's throat tightened. Thank you, for everything. She stepped into the car, tears streaming down her face as the door closed. Andy watched her disappear into the Lagos night, his heart heavier than he ever expected. But Bella didn't know something. The story wasn't over. Her father had sent more people. And Bella's disappearance would trigger a city-wide hunt that would shake Lagos to its core. Bella's disappearance shook Mama Tolu's diner to its core. The next morning, Andy returned to the diner alone, his heart heavy, his mind distant. Mama Tolu noticed immediately. She's gone, isn't she? Andy sighed. Yeah. She left last night. Mama Tolu nodded, her expression soft but knowing. That girl, she was running from something big. Andy sat quietly, staring at the empty chair where Bella used to sit and swing her legs like a mischievous child. But Lagos wasn't going to let her leave quietly. That morning, the The news exploded. Billionaire's missing daughter found working as Lagos waitress. Bella's face was splashed across every major newspaper, blog, and Instagram page. Mama Tolu's diner appeared in every photo. Customers started flooding the diner, not to eat, but to gawk. Cynthia ran in holding her phone. Andy, Bella, she's all over the news. She's the billionaire's daughter. Isabella Cross. Andy's hands clenched around the tray he was holding. Yeah, I know. Mama Tolu, who was always calm, sank slowly into a chair. So, all this time, the ajibutter waitress was a real ajibutter. And she chose here, over all that life. Andy chuckled sadly. Yeah. Crazy, right? Cynthia's mouth hung open. I can't believe she was here washing plates with us. Me, I would have just called Uber every day. Customers filled the diner, taking selfies and videos. Wow. This is where she worked. Andy, you're the guy she was always with. Are you her boyfriend? Bro, you're trending on Twitter. Oh. Andy rolled his eyes. Una no day chop again? Not a gossip una come here. He tried to block out the noise, but inside he was breaking. The phone wouldn't stop ringing. Reporters wanted interviews. Customers wanted pictures. The whole of Lagos wanted to know, how did the billionaire's daughter end up frying plantain in a street diner? Andy kept his cool, but his friends noticed he'd grown distant. Kunal pulled him aside. Guy, you sure say you day alright? You look like you go just faint any time from now. Andy sighed. I'm fine. It's just, I didn't expect to miss her this much. Kunal patted his shoulder. Omo, you day fall for this babe deep. Andy didn't deny it. Days passed, and the noise refused to die down. Everyone wanted to hear Andy's side of the story. Until Bella's father made his move. A black SUV pulled up in front of the diner. The door swung open, and out stepped Charles Cross himself, the billionaire, looking every inch like a man who could buy half of Lagos before lunch. He walked into the diner like he owned the air inside. Mama Tolu froze, Andy's heart pounded. Charles Cross spoke calmly, but his voice was like steel. You're Andy, right? Andy straightened. Yes, sir. You worked with my daughter. You cared about her. Andy's throat was dry, but he nodded. Yes, sir. Charles studied him for a long moment. I owe you thanks. You kept her safe, but I need to know something. Andy swallowed. What's that, sir? Charles leaned in, lowering his voice. Did she ever say she wanted to come home? Andy looked at him squarely. No, sir. She was finally happy here. Charles sighed deeply, his cold billionaire facade cracking just a little. Thank you for telling me the truth, he said softly. Before he left, he handed Andy a small envelope. Just in case she ever wants to find you again. Andy stared at the envelope long after Charles was gone. Mama Tolu sat beside him, patting his shoulder. The thing about Lagos, she said, is that even when people leave, they somehow always come back. Andy smiled faintly. I hope so, Mama. The city was still buzzing. Andy's face was trending. The diner was now a landmark. But for Andy, only one thing mattered. Would Bella ever come back? Andy couldn't escape the spotlight. Everywhere he turned, on the bus, in the market, even at the barber's shop, people pointed at him, whispering, That's the guy, the one Bella worked with. Ah, he's the one trending with the billionaire's daughter. Even Mama Tolu's diner had transformed overnight. Customers lined up not just for food, but for the story. Some came to taste the legendary jollof rice. Others came to see the place where Bella once dropped a tray. Mama Tolu tried to keep the place running as normal, but the atmosphere had changed. Andy? He was smiling less, laughing less. Cynthia noticed. She tried to lighten his mood. Oya, Andy, smile small now. Lagos girls are lining up to shoot their shot at you. This is your season. Andy barely responded. I'm not interested. Cynthia teased. Is it because you're still thinking about Madame Billionaire? Andy's silence was all the answer she needed. Mama Tolu pulled Andy aside later that day. My son, I know you miss her. But life no day wait. The food competition is tomorrow. You need to focus. Andy nodded. Yes, Mama. I'll give it my best. He practiced like never before, perfecting his dishes late into the night. The kitchen felt emptier without Bella's loud laughter, without her playful scolding, without her random stories about falling into gutters. But Andy carried on. The next day, he arrived at the Lagos Street Food Festival. The crowd was massive. TV cameras, judges, food critics, all gathered. When it was Andy's turn, he cooked with fire in his soul. His peppered chicken? Perfect. His jollof rice? Fluffy, rich, and beautifully spiced. His plantains? Golden and sweet, flipped like a true Lagos pro. He poured everything he had into that meal. As the judges tasted his dish, Andy's eyes drifted to the crowd, and his heart stopped. Standing at the back, hidden behind sunglasses and a scarf, was Bella. Andy blinked, thinking it was a mirage, but then Bella smiled, that mischievous, sweet smile that always got her into trouble. Andy's chest tightened. She was back. She came. The judges announced the winner, Andy. Cheers erupted, but Andy's eyes were on only one person. Bella slowly walked towards him as the cameras clicked furiously. Hey, oversabi chef, she whispered, barely holding back tears. I heard you finally stopped burning the plantains. Andy grinned. I had to, or you'd come back and mock me forever. They both laughed, the weight of the last few weeks melting between them. Andy's voice softened. Why did you come back? Bella shrugged. Because Lagos isn't Lagos without you. And I realized, I can't keep running forever. Maybe I don't want to. Andy took her hand. Are you ready for the whole world to chase you again? Bella smiled. Let them. I've got my Lagos crew now. The crowd surrounded them, snapping photos, shouting questions. But in that moment, Andy and Bella didn't care. They were home. Together. Life after the competition changed forever. Mama Tolu's diner was now the hottest spot in Lagos. People didn't just come to eat. They came to experience the love story that had gripped the entire city. Customers would slide into seats and whisper excitedly, Do you think Bella's coming today? Andy, where's your billionaire girlfriend now? Oh, please add extra plantain. I heard that's how he won her heart. Andy couldn't walk 5 minutes without someone stopping him for selfies. Cynthia teased him every day. Well, and now, Mr. Celebrity Chef. Greet your fans. Maybe you'll sign my apron. Andy would just roll his eyes. A beg shift. I'm still the same Andy that can't stand burnt stew. But despite all the noise, Andy's heart stayed with Bella. They met secretly at night, away from the flashing cameras, away from the gossip, just the two of them sitting on their favorite street bench, eating suya, sharing jokes, arguing about the best bus routes, and laughing about the day Bella almost flipped plantains properly. Bella was still in hiding from some of her father's security team. Even though her father had backed down from forcing her home, his reputation demanded he control the story. Bella wasn't ready to go public yet. One evening, as they sat watching the Lagos night come alive, Bella sighed. You know, we can't keep sneaking around forever. Andy looked at her. Why not? Sneaking makes life spicy. Bella chuckled. I'm serious. Sooner or later, the press will catch us. Andy leaned back, grinning. Let them catch us. I'll even wave for the camera. Bella's smile softened. What if my father tries to pull me back again? Or the pressure gets worse? Lagos can be a loud city. Andy turned to her, serious now. If you ever feel caged again, just remember something. You have people here who love you for you. Not your surname. Not your money. Just you. Bella's heart fluttered. Andy wasn't the fancy, perfect guy from her old world. He was the rough around the edges, plantain flipping, bus conductor imitating Lagos guy who had seen her at her worst, and stayed. And that made all the difference. A few days later, the inevitable happened. They were spotted, walking, laughing, buying puff-puff from a roadside seller. Within minutes, photos flooded social media. Billionaire's daughter finally reunites with her Lagos chef. Isabella Cross chooses love over fortune. The comments were wild. Some called her brave. Some called her foolish. But Bella didn't care. This was the life she chose. And she was finally ready to own it. Her father's security quietly backed off, no longer able to control the storm. Mama Tolu welcomed Bella back like nothing happened. Oya, wash your hands and start chopping onions. Fame won't save you from kitchen work. Andy teased, just don't drop my plantains this time. Bella winked. No promises. Together, they kept the diner running, serving customers, laughing over burnt stew, dodging paparazzi, and sharing a love story that Lagos would never forget. Because sometimes, the richest life is the one you build for yourself. Months passed, but the story of the billionaire's daughter and the Lagos chef refused to die. Mama Tolu's diner had become a permanent landmark. People traveled from as far as Abuja just to sit where Bella used to drop plates. Andy was now a local celebrity. His face was on food blogs. His jollof rice recipe went viral. Some even called him the Pepper Prince of Lagos. Cynthia, of course, still found time to tease him. Oga Pepper Prince, a beg sign my pepper. I want to sell it on Instagram. Andy rolled his eyes. Cynthia, I will fry you with that pepper one day. Bella had fully settled back into her life at the diner. No more hiding. Her father, Charles Cross, had finally accepted her choice, though reluctantly. He occasionally sent her bodyguards who stood far away pretending to be random passers-by. Bella called them my uncles in sunglasses. One afternoon, Bella was walking to the diner with Andy when she paused at a street vendor. Wait, she said, grinning. You see this Puff Puff seller? This was the first place we bought Puff Puff together. Andy smiled. And you still underpaid him. Bella gasped. You said you had change. Andy laughed. You still owe that man 50 naira. Bella handed the vendor a fresh note. For old time's sake. The vendor grinned. God bless you, madam. You and your boyfriend day sweet-o. Bella winked. You hear that? We day sweet. Andy smirked. A beg, let's go before you start dropping plates again. Back at the diner, Mama Tolu had a surprise. She gathered everyone and proudly revealed a shiny gold plaque. Home of the legendary Ajibutter Waitress. Everyone cheered. Bella playfully covered her face. Mama, you want the whole world to remember me as the plate dropper? Mama Tolu laughed. You've already written your story. Lagos has claimed you. Andy added, besides, you're the only one who can drop plates and still be loved like this. Bella crossed her arms, grinning. Oh really? Should I drop one now to test your theory? Andy pretended to panic. No, not the new plates. Mama will chase us both out. The whole diner roared with laughter. But in the middle of all the noise, Andy leaned close and whispered, Bella, if you had to choose this life again, would you still pick me? Would you still pick Lagos? Bella looked around at the crowded diner, the loud customers, the sticky tables, and the peppery aroma of frying stew. She smiled softly. I'd choose you and these burnt plantains 1,000 times. Andy's chest warmed. But because Lagos would riot if you left again. Mama Tolu's voice cut in, loud as ever. Bella, Andy, Oya, back to work. Customers no day wait for love story. They jumped into action, side by side, flipping plantains and serving plates, with Bella dropping one, of course, just to keep her legend alive. And as the evening sun bathed Lagos in gold, their story continued, not as a fairy tale, but as something even better. A perfectly imperfect Lagos love story.
Thank you for watching. We hope you have enjoyed it here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as this will help us grow and do more. Have anything to say about the story? Feel free to drop a comment.